good evening, Gear Up East Kentucky. I'm Cindy Artrip, and today I'm going to talk to you about cake decorating, and I'm going to do a cake decorating demonstration. As you can see here, I have pre-baked 4 cakes. The 2 white cakes will stack up on each other, and so will the 2 chocolate, making a 2-layer cake. I've also baked some cupcakes, and we are going to do a Greatest Showman theme. So we have 3D printed a top hat. This is pretty cool. Check this out. We 3D printed that on our 3D printer for the Greatest Showman. And we have printed and laminated a photo that we're going to apply to a cake, and we also made some cupcake picks and cupcake liners. One of the first things we need to do after we let our cake cool is to level our cake, and we do that with this leveler. It has a wire and it slices through the cake very gently. You have to take your time. You can turn the cake as you go. And then you can pull the scraps off. And my kids like to devour the scraps, so we'll give those to them and we'll fix our cake levels. You're going to do that with each cake, and I'll be back in a moment to show you the rest. For the next step of our cake decorating process, you're going to need Crisco, 2 sticks of butter. The Crisco you'll use about a cup, and you'll use about a tablespoon of vanilla to start, and then you can taste as you go. And then add enough powdered sugar until you get a spreading consistency. You'll want it to kind of form a stiff peak. So we have our iced 8-inch and 6-inch cakes. You can still see through the icing a little bit, but that really doesn't matter. We're going to cover it in marshmallow fondant, which is really, really yummy. It's a lot better than just regular fondant. For the marshmallow fondant, you're going to need a bag of mini marshmallows. You're going to need a little bit of water, probably about a tablespoonful. Icing colors, so you can make whatever color you want, and then powdered sugar. And then you'll also want to have on hand some Crisco to kind of coat your hands and your rolling mat. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the marshmallows, put them in a bowl, sprinkle them with water, and then microwave on intervals of 20 seconds until it's creamy and smooth. I'll be right back. So our marshmallows took about 3 cycles of 20 seconds in the microwave, and you get this creamy texture. Next, you're going to pour in powdered sugar until you get a Play-Doh consistency. Now, this is going to take some time. You'll have to knead and knead and knead until the dough gets to where you need it. So I will put the camera on time lapse and I will go over that with you. Alright, you're going to want your fondant at a consistency that feels sort of like Play-Doh. It's pliable, it's stretchy, but with the powdered sugar it's easier to form. Just sprinkle with powdered sugar if it starts getting sticky. Alright guys, so the next step, you're going to want to get some Crisco and you're going to want to put it all over your pastry mat where you're going to be rolling out your fondant. You got to get it really, really nice and greasy so that your fondant doesn't stick, because if your fondant sticks, it's just going to be a mess. You're going to have to start over. So get your mat nice and greasy, and then you're going to want to sprinkle powdered sugar all over it. Don't be afraid to use a lot of powdered sugar. The more powdered sugar you use, the better, because it'll keep it from sticking. I'll go through this first process of covering the first cake with you, and then the rest of the covering and stuff we'll do with time lapse so that it'll go a little quicker. It won't take quite that much, so we're going to tear this in half. And then we're going to kind of make a circle and then flatten. And I want to kind of pat it out in a pancake. Pick it up. Put your powdered sugar down again. Keep flattening and try to make a circle. Smooth if you can. And then you're going to want your roller. You're going to take and you're going to get a little Crisco, rub it on your roller. This will keep the fondant from sticking to your roller. And then we're going to start rolling. Alright, it's still wanting to stick to my roller, so what I'm going to do is sprinkle powdered sugar on my fondant. Got a little bit of air bubble and a cake crumb, but that's not. And you put some powdered sugar on our roller too if we need to. Alright. So now we're gonna roll. And you gotta make sure you get it big enough to go over your entire cake. You can cut off any excess with like a pizza cutter or a knife. You're going to want to roll this to probably about 1/8 of an inch thick, maybe a little thicker. You're going to see some air bubbles. Keep rolling and rolling and rolling. Hopefully this will turn out the first time and I don't have to start over. Because I'm getting pretty thin. We're gonna go back over and put a little more powdered sugar to keep it from sticking to our roller. The best way I found to do this is just kind of wrap it around your roller and just roll it like that. And then you're gonna get your cake over. And you're just gonna drape it. And then you're just gonna smooth along the sides. And I didn't quite get it far enough over on the side here. I'll turn it around so you can see. Right here didn't stretch down, but that's okay because we have some decorations that we're gonna put on the cake and that'll cover that. This is kind of foolproof. Can't really mess it up. All right, got my pizza cutter. And I'm just gonna go around the cake. And cut off the excess. And this is the extra, so we can use that to make some red stripes to go on the cake. We'll set it aside. And then you have a cake smoother. This is going to smooth around the sides. And we have an air bubble. You can pop air bubbles with toothpicks and then smooth, and then it just disappears. And there you have it. You need some supports to hold up your top layer. So I'm going to use a straw. So I'm going to push it down into the cake until it stops. And then we're going to snip right where it stopped. And you're going to measure about 3 of these or 4. And insert them into your cake to hold up your top layer. I'm going to sprinkle the top with a little powdered sugar before I put the other layer on to keep it from sticking and pulling off the icing. And then we're going to want to use a spatula, a small spatula, to lift up the cake. And then I'm going to look for this side and set it right in the center on top. About as close as we're going to get. And then we're going to decorate the top and then add some borders and such. Also, anytime you're doing a stack cake, you need to put a support rod in the middle. So I'm going to push this right through the center, all the way down. And that will give us some support, and your cakes will not fall apart.